Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Yo, everybody, it's Yo Override. So let's get to it. Bring the bang! What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain this week for you, Dr. Roto, and the Fight Club of Pain. What's up, Dan? Welcome back again. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. You know, it was a good day at work. How was it at work for you, man?
Oh, my job is always hell.
You know what was crazy is like I was on it. I said, hey, everybody, there's going to be no Fight Club of Pain on Saturday. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, I'm like, hey, you think we could get this, Dan? What was you thinking? You're like, am I crazy SOB or what?
Hey, if you need me to do it, I'll do it, man.
Hey, I like that, and I like that inspiration. I hope that everybody watching, all the pain bringers out there, subscribers at drroto.com, or anybody just random looking for information on this fight, everybody has information. And it's really crazy because I've seen a lot of different ways that a lot of people are going with this fight because a lot of these fighters are unknown. It's their first fight. And like I said, we have some familiar faces. We have a rematch, of course. So that's a nice thing for the main headline. We got Vettori versus Dolidze. So hopefully I didn't butcher that. I think I nailed it. Yeah.
Dolidze?
No, yeah. It's Dolidze.
I don't know. Dolidze?
I think it's Dolidze.
It's something like it. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I was watching one of the guys, just random guy, with a skit, and he was like, I'm going to attempt this name right now. And it was actually one of the easier names. And I was like, he nailed it. But I was like, just by sheer sight, he was scared of that name. So... Yeah. All right, let me give you it's time to bring the pain, everybody. Woo, yeah. Right? So we're going to be covering the UFC Vegas 104 this week, and I'll be at the end of this episode. Throughout this, so of course, we'll give out bets. I'll give out bet line. I got everything pulled up right here, right now. But at the same time, I'm also going to give you a DFS lineup at the end. Last week kind of like was back and forth. It looked good at first, and then it took a nosedive. What did you see last week?
Last week was crazy. Knockouts and submissions that we didn't see coming. Yeah.
Okay, so Petrosian, that being one of them, the armbar, that was crazy. Now, of course, that was, Moreno definitely could have worked that up. But at the same time, we weren't looking for that. We were looking for him to at least go the distance, maybe get the knockout, and we just didn't get that. And that just went. We had Francis Marshall get ripped off, giving us a win.
He got robbed.
Dude, let's talk about that. Because I didn't get I said I was going to talk about that, but I'm going to talk about that right now. Dude, what did you how?
He won all 3 rounds. He won all 3 rounds. Hand out.
I can't. And he was the fighter that was going forward the whole time. He was wrapping up Santos. He just looked lost. He did the
most damage. Yeah, Santos looked lost, and Marshall did the most damage. He got robbed.
It looked. Yeah, and I want to say he was almost like scared he was going to shoot him because he was just like, I'm going to throw this punch, but then be ready. Punch, then kick, be ready. And then I'm watching all these highlights. We're all watching all these highlights, and we're watching this punk. Dude, you're a punk because of what you did. You need to be active. We haven't even got to Piadiata yet, right? But, we're going to cover that. But, dude, you talk about being active, you got to be active. You're lucky you won that fight, right? Yeah. You're real. And then the other Santos, man, a lot of people said that he won, that he did a lot more strikes, but I just didn't see him winning that fight. So for me, that was a loss for him. He deserved that loss. And of course, when I'm looking back at it, like we were right on a lot of these picks, and it just was one of those days, like we always say when we're in the fight ring, when we're in battle with another human being, right? That anything can happen. One slip, one thing, man. So, man, let's talk about the Bobby Green fight too, man.
There wasn't a lot of it to talk about. There wasn't a lot of it to talk about.
It was definite. So you watched your boy go down, man.
That's like the third time in the last 5 fights.
Yeah. Unfortunate. But hey, I had the knockout, so that was good. That won some money right there. And, another one that we nailed too was Bahamundes, right?
Yeah.
I had him winning, right?
Yep.
But dude, I did not. I'm happy I played it. So for those that don't know, I threw in the submission in the first and second round. And when he got that submission, I was like, plus 1,300.
That's crazy. No one thought that would happen.
No, but Bahamundes is that kind of fighter. He can lock somebody up. So I just didn't see him submitting somebody, especially Turner.
I didn't see it coming. I thought it was going to be a stand-up fight all 3 rounds.
Yeah, and for me, that goes back to it. So when we looked at the whole card, and you looked at a lot of the fights and how they went down, and I practically, when I went into the Pereira versus Ankalev fight, I was over 500. I just need this win, and I'm dancing pretty. And then that one actually put me at 500. We all, of course, for everybody last week, me, Dan, and Jonathan were all 2-2, even though some of us swayed on each other. We all went 2-2 for that. But that it could have went better. But overall, it was good. Betting was good. DFS sucked, dude. I was
That's what you were
furious when Castaneda got pulled again. Oh, man, I'm so mad.
2 hours
dude,
before
even worse, Curtis Blades. Yes. Yep. No, well, that was after. And I took a nap. So I'm like sitting there and I'm like looking at my phone. I don't even got anything going on. And I'm saying, wait a minute. These fighters just came out. I just put the chicken wings in. The chicken wings with the honey sauce. That's from my boy El Connors, man. People that know about them Twitch DJs know what's up. Yep. Right. And he's actually going to be live on Twitch leading up to DJ Magic Mike. So if you guys want to pop in there, man, I'm going to tell you have a great time. Greatest DJ in the world. Dude, you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
It's amazing that we know somebody that amazing, man. I was just saying it last night. Like, this dude is one of 2 artists that have a base CD that went over gold. And on top of that, he's credited for so many cuts. The scratching in, Baby Got Back, everything, dude. People don't even know that, but that's what's so amazing about DJ Magic Mike. And he's been here forever, and he's another dimension. That's all it is. But this is good. I know these people are waiting for the fights, man. I know that. Yeah. All right, let's get to it. All right, first fight up, we're gonna be talking Waldo Cortez Acosta versus your boy Ryan Spann, moving up to heavyweight. He's a little. He could be a little undersized. What do you think about this fight, bro?
Yes, I think it's going to be the funnest fight of the night, truthfully, because Ryan Spann has power and wrestling, and his wrestling is very underrated, very underrated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and no, I agree with that too. He is a decent wrestler. I'll go on.
I mean, last fight, he submitted Oven St. Preux in his last fight. So he could take him to the ground.
And that is good. And that shows that he's going to be, And so for me, so I'm looking at the numbers right here. And the thing is just Cortez Acosta is just a meat tank. He's just a meat tank. And it just feels like that they could have went a different way, but they kind of threw Spann to the wolves, especially trying to have to add in all that weight that he couldn't develop into muscle right now.
Yeah, I completely agree.
What draws you to Spann? Is it his size?
It's his all around.
Is it going to be his reach? Because honest,
his size and reach over this guy.
All right, it's just that.
and his pedigree right now. He's so much better than, Cortez Acosta.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, he's got an 8-inch reach, and then, of course, he has a 1-inch size. He is giving up 10 pounds, though. That's what I'm worried about. So if Cortez Acosta rolls up, we're just going to call this dude Waldo. Anyway, if he rolls up and he holds him down, that I don't think is going to work out much for Spann. But I do know that Spann does have freakish strength. Yeah, and I would say overall he could and most likely is the better athlete, but I just think that this was a weird move, throwing him out like I said, but I'm going to go on that. So you have Spann winning, right?
Yeah, second round submission.
Bro, you always making me write this stuff down and like trying to make sure that I'm going to run and get them numbers, man, because I love your heart. And when you were sitting there, you were like, dude, I'm going to throw in these things. And then you sent me your bets you throw. And I was like, this guy's trying to tap somebody in 10 seconds. Not that you did. But you was throwing in. And I was like, what is this man's? I was going to ask you what you was smoking. But I was like, you don't smoke. So it's like, all right, well, whatever. Everybody is very confused of what's going on. Welcome to Bring the Pain, where we kind of like to talk about fights and talk about some wild times and good times. And I got a beer for you this week. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to have a beer for you, bro.
I got one for you too, brother. You too.
Oh, snap. Yeah. So we always trade beers, man. It's like something me and Dan do when we're not watching UFC now. So, all right. So, of course, at the time, it could have moved in last year. Cortez Acosta is a -166. Spann a 140. I do like Spann's price. When I was first looking at this fight, I know that a lot of people may be off of Spann. So on FanDuel, you could see Spann get a 20 to 16%. That is a key to swaying the slates, because last week, like we saw with a few of the upsets, those upsets are what practically led to where I only profited $2, as opposed to where if I would have won, I would have profited probably $32 to $202. But that's the difference when the dogs win. And last week was kind of a dog week. Do you think this week is a dog week?
Kinda. I kind of do.
So who do you? So I did look at a few guys in the picks and the videos and just kind of going down, seeing who everybody is, because why not? Why wouldn't I look at the competition? That's why I'm the sheriff. I got to make sure I'm doing the investigation. Oh, yeah. Right? So when I looked at it, like we were right online, there was a few people that did almost go unbeaten, but lost in the last fight. So again, and then
I called it.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. We will get to that. Let's talk about that right now as we take a little break. Our next fight we'll do is Alexander Hernandez and Kirk Holobaugh. But first, we're going to talk about Pierre versus Ekalev. What did you? Yeah. You called it, dude. Round 4. You called it. So, for everybody that missed last week's show, Dan said he was going to tap him in round 4. But what he did was what Dan actually did, which I want to say is amazing. You named the round he was going to shoot him. And take him to the fence.
I did, and it worked perfect.
It did. That was the swaying decision. And a lot of people go, you got to do more to beat the champ. Well, if the champ can't get off a fence for 2 rounds, I mean, maybe you was looking past him. I think Pereira was looking past him, was trying to think about moving up so he could get his dream fight with John Jones. I'm hearing there's a lot of people putting fake stuff up about Tom Aspinall now, and everybody wants that fight. But
I can't wait for that fight if it happens.
Yeah. So, if Pereira did move up, he's just going to move up into people with more weight that are just going to muscle him up like that anyway. So I'm not saying he can't be great, right?
I agree, but he needs to stay in his weight class. Yeah. Okay. Go on it. He's not that good of a wrestler up to move up to heavyweight. And, look at all the only stand-up fighters in the heavyweight division. They get beat by all the wrestlers. John Jones, Daniel Cormier. We can go on and on. Cain Velasquez. Just people that everybody
Brock Lesnar down.
Everybody just mauls people that are stand-up fighters in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, and I think that's why people don't like the heavyweight division, because they want to see fast knockouts. They don't want to see two big guys rolling around getting sweaty. Even though that is what ultimately a lot of these sports are, wrestling, BJJ, things like that.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see Derek Lewis knock people out, but
yeah, that is always a positive, man. I was like, man, I so wanted that Blades fight. Again, going back to it, a lot of DFS lineups that I had Blades. So when we were talking about that, I only had 10 minutes to change, and it was the week that I went really big, it was 15 lineups. And I didn't get them all changed. I got to my last lineup and the contest had started, because, and that's the thing too, is when you're up against a contest starting and you're looking to sway, but you already swayed from your lineups. Now you're taking a key component out. It's what happened on FanDuel and me. I didn't even hit my 50-50. I hit one, but I didn't hit the other ones that were the big ones that would have been able to return my money. So I lost on FanDuel DFS. But again, it goes back to why I say you have to play both sites, and you have to play both the sportsbook and the DFS, because what could be a few dollar wins here and there, a few hits on your sportsbook, you could get a big positive. You could place in the top 30 for DFS, which could put you into $25 to $100 easily. Yeah. And if you win, heck, you might win $10,000 if you're in the right contest. So that's the thing that I try to stress to everybody. It's about the contest. It's about the thing. Don't put $100 on one site. Put 25 on each site if that makes sense. If not, because you have to shop the sites, man. You can't just take these crappy numbers that people are putting out. And that was another thing too. Why would I even go back and put these bets in that they got? Because I got a lot of these numbers on Sunday last week, Monday last week, and then now I'm dealing with day of 10-minute bets. I'm not getting any kind of good numbers for that. So that's why. All right, UFC 313 is in the books now, man, after pissing us off. Yeah, making me bring the pain. So, Alexander Hernandez, Kurt Holobaugh. We got Hernandez as a slight favorite, almost 2-1, negative 198 to the positive 164, Kurt Holobaugh. When you looked at both of these fights, what did you see?
Hernandez, his last 4 fights, he's gone the distance. His last 4 fights. He doesn't. He's not the same fighter he was a few years ago. Holobaugh, he's tough and he's gritty. Yeah. And that's about the best thing you could say about that guy. It's just the way he fights. He's a tough fighter. And this is his second stint with the UFC right now. He's doing a lot better now than he did his first time in. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is when you look at his, and it's kind of been back and forth because it's been win or losses. But if you look at his past 4 fights and we go with that, he scored 102 on DK. That is. Then he went to 31, even though he lost. He went to decision, right? But then he won with another 101 points. So, and then previous was 45. But that being said, when you look at it, you're getting a miss or miss. If he misses, he gets 45 points. Last week, I had multiple fighters that won their fights that only scored 57 points. Yeah. So if I can get 47 points for somebody right now who's 7,600 on DraftKings, then I'm all in on that, because he's given me a chance. I do like him as a dog, and I think that I don't need the win or loss DFS-wise for me to put him in the lineup. I think a lot of people are going to sway from him, but I could see him around a 2022. So you think Holobaugh definitely can pull this out? I think he can pull it out, but I don't think he will. I think he can, but I don't think he will. Yeah, for the pack too, I do have Hernandez as the winner. But again, this is where I say sportsbook, I'm picking Hernandez. But man, I don't know, man. There's just been some things with him I saw, and
that's why it helps you on DFS wise.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
I agree.
What do you think the method? It's going to be points, Hernandez?
Decision. Yeah. Decision. Just a split decision.
And that's I'll have some numbers for some of that too, because I didn't know I do last week on Wednesday. My fantastic picks were on Dr. Roto, only on Dr. Roto last week, and I went 3-2. So for the week, for everybody that knows right now, and this is why you're not getting any of that, because it's behind the paywall. Unfortunately, sorry, you get what you get here on the Fight Club of Pain. You get the fight theory, you get all of us talking, but I went 4-1 each of the first 3 weeks, and then I topped it with a 3-2. I mean, when you look at it, us coming into the game, at least me stepping back after football started, 6 weeks in, and then after the last 4 weeks of doing that and putting together a 15-5 record, that's amazing. That's
damn good.
To let everybody know too, those losses in the first 3 weeks, those fighters won. It's just I just picked a different method. So I'm trying to win you all money. I'm trying to put those parlays together. Those parlays, those bets and everything, that's in the subs only discard at Dr. Roto, other than maybe if we feel free and what we give out for free on the Fight Club of Pain. And again, we're going to be here every week that we can. But that's why we're doing it Thursday today, is because I fight Saturday, which I can't wait, dude. Yeah, dude. Like I told everybody on my podcast on Sunday, if you could put money on me, I would always bet on me, right?
I agree. I've been there a few times.
Yeah. Dude, my fights are crazy. I mean, if you could bet on me getting yelled at or not, that's definitely something you could definitely bet on, because I usually get yelled at.
It's hands down you're getting yelled at.
I abuse these men. So everybody, I'm a point fighter for TKO Erie, and we have people on the Waco kickboxing team, stuff like that. Like, that just all happened. Went to the Arnold Open, had some great stuff. And so we're fighting, but in my division, which is the 35 plus division, it's just me and a bunch of old guys. So we're out there running around, but a lot of the older guys definitely have had a lot more surgeries than me. I mean, I've had some knee surgeries, but these guys can't kick all the time. So what it ends up being is I get a bunch of people that come from schools that aren't really geared or used to the intensity that we put out at TKO Erie. And so when I go to those tournaments, I have to dial back, and it doesn't happen. I turn into a monster.
It's funny.
I think that guy hit the ground. I think he hit the other ring at least 5 times.
Knocking people through tables and just everything.
Dude, someone's going to whoop my ass once. Well, sooner or later, someone's going to get me. But it's going to happen. Hey, right now I hold a 17-5 record. So
you can't beat that.
You can't beat that. And point fighting is different too for a lot of people that may not be. You could go into a place with bad judges where judges are literally screwing you over, or they will screw you over, because again, this is like a mark on my chest, on my back. And when they see us come through, they already know. I mean, I'm not going to say we're the Cobra Kai, but we're kind of like the Cobra Kai. We're not going to come to your school and start a fight, but we're going to just do our best. We're going to put a good product out there, and that's what we'd like to do, and that's what we want from the UFC. We want to see good product, so we're going to see a couple of these fighters on this fight club, like you said, have just come back for a second stint, but there's other people with this they're fighting for a contract. Some of these people on this, some of these people went on the journeys in the fight stuff and everything that UFC's did, the road to UFC and stuff like that. And they've won, they've lost. Like, it's big, man. And they have dreams just like all of us, man.
Yeah.
All right. So who do you got winning?
I got, which one were we talking about? Hernandez, right?
Hernandez and Kurt Holloway.
I got Hernandez by decision.
All right. And I am going to agree with you, because that is my thing. Now watch, we'll lose that, because we agree this week. We'll lose that. Yeah, I write things down, people. That's what we do here. All right, let's move along to the next fight. And I don't know, man. It's gonna be this is a fun name. I got Chidi Jukwani versus Elizeu Zaleski. Dos Santos.
Dos Santos and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That's what I'll call them.
Chitty. Yeah, I mean, Chitty. That's all that, I mean, dude, you already know Chitty's coming out swinging.
Oh, yeah. They both have knockout power, but
yes,
you figure Chitty's 0-3 in his last 3 fights. He's lost his last 3.
Yeah.
And
Dos not in good fashion either.
Dos Santos is 1-1-1 in his last 3 fights. So this isn't a real, fight to be happy about if you're a fan.
No. And honestly, I mean, like you say with Chidi, the 2 wins, the 3 losses, but when he loses bad. And so you got a 12-point, a 16-point, and a 21-point loss on DraftKings. Yeah. But then you have a 63-point win, and you have a 101-point win, both going rounds. Of course, both decisions. So the thing is the striking. So in his last fight, he had 105 strikes. Previous fight, he had 66. So that's how Chidi wins. And the thing is, too, is when you look at a lot of his other fights, they're 1 rounds. He gets knocked out before these wins in the first round, before he has a decision. Then he gets knocked out. Then he knocks somebody out. Then he knocks somebody out. So do you think his cardio can hang with Zaleski?
Dos Santos. Do I? Yes. Do I think it will? No. I think both these guys gas before the second round's over.
So does that make it more of a striking match then?
Yeah. It's gonna be a stand-up fight.
It's gonna be a stand-up fight. All right, that's what I like. So the numbers on Chidi at the moment is a plus 150, not bad. Again, if he gets those knockouts. And Zaleski is a negative 180. I'm not going to say at this moment. When I wrote it down as a 180, it could be 185 now. It could be a 170, right? So who do you think wins?
I think Chidi gets back in the win column.
You like him too.
I do.
Because I like him too.
I say 3rd round knockout.
3rd round, so they're going to gas out, exactly what you're saying here. And then after they gas out, that's when Chidi's going to finally drop it, and then he's going to get in it. I like that. I like that theory. Another thing, too, is when I was first looking at this fight, I immediately always go to the size and I go to the reach. And, we already know... I'm 5'9", 5'9.5". If you put a pair of boots on me, I could be 5'10", almost 5'11", right? So we know Zaleski is 5'11", and Chidi is 6'3". But what's crazy again is we have a 7-inch on the hand, we have a 4-inch on the legs, and we know that Chidi loves to shoot, loves to kick, and things like that. And if he gets near that fence, he's gonna bang on him. He's definitely gonna be active. So for me to see that, because when I'm looking at Zaleski's last few fights, you only have 11 strikes. Of course, that was a round 1 win. But when we're looking at a 3-round decision, we've got 26 strikes. Then we got a 3-round decision, 75 strikes. 3-round decision, 42 strikes. Then we got a 3-round decision, 149 strikes. He's so back and forth that I think that if he goes in this to strike, he's striking with somebody that has way more distance than him. And the only thing that I think that really could hurt Chidi is, like you said, is going to be his stamina. And that I could see Zaleski getting a late round tap out or maybe a late round ground and pound. But other than that, you got Chidi winning. I got Chidi winning.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with everything you said.
Oh, man, I agree with what you said, too, man. I hope everybody else agrees with what we said, because we're going to keep being here, people, man. The sheriff's in town. Man, we ain't got badges yet, but we do want badges. So we'll just get that. So we got that. So right now, we have picked 2 favorites. Well, I picked a favorite. You picked a dog when you picked Span. We both picked Hernandez, and we both picked Chidi. So right now, you got 2 dogs, 1 fave. I got 2 faves, 1 dog.
Yep.
Let's get to the main event. Let's get to Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze.
Yeah.
Woo! Rabbit it. We got a 162 on Vettori, and we got a plus 138 on Dolidze, right?
Yep.
What do you see in this fight, man? This is second fight. Of course, I'll give a little bit.
It's a fun rematch. The first fight was fun. It was so close.
Yeah, 5 rounds, decision. The crazy thing is that fight took place like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's wild, but I'll take that. I mean, actually, I was wrong with the 5. That was his last fight. 3-round decision went towards Vettori. He got 106 strikes on that, and his control time was 0.
Yeah.
So, what are you seeing in this fight?
I think it's going to be another stand-up fight between these two, and Vettori's tough. He's never been finished.
Never.
He always takes a lot of damage, though. Always takes a lot of damage.
He eats it.
Yeah, and truthfully, I don't know how much that cannoneer fight took out of him, because he took a beating.
Yeah. That's one of the things that a lot of people have been saying as well, too. And it's funny you brought that up because, man, cannoneer did put the whoop on that boy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like you just said right there, even though he lost, he still scored 67 points on DraftKings in a 5-round fight, which that's kind of more around like 30-20 if you look at a 3-round fight, maybe just a little more. But, I mean, it's crazy that he even got it because he had 153 strikes in that, like I said. But the thing is he only had 28 seconds of control time. So, again, that's what led to cannoneer just slapping him around that ring.
Slapped him around the ring the whole fight. It was ugly.
And I think sometimes that's his knock, and that's why he has so many wins and losses, of course, is that he kind of just goes in there and he should be like a full heavyweight, the way he is, like how big he is.
Yeah.
And it just that would be perfect for him because that's who he is. But he likes to strike a lot, as we saw, because he doesn't really have any control time. I mean, if we look at his best 2 fights with control time was when he fought Israel and then Holland before that. Against Dolidze, he had 6 minutes and 55 seconds, and he had 20 minutes of control time against Holland.
Yeah.
Like, where did that go?
Yeah, but everybody controls Holland. I could probably wrestle Kevin Holland.
Yeah. That's why we love doing this stuff, man. It just brings up some good times and fun stuff, man. There's some wild stuff. So who do you have winning, man? Do you think Dolidze comes in and tries to get this over and then he eventually tires out, giving Vettori the win? Or do you think that Dolidze gets that finish early?
I think Dolidze gets a 3rd-round TKO.
Wow! He's finally done. The Vettori story is turned.
Yeah, I think he's going to finish him.
Oh, Dan. Look at you go. You said 3rd-round knockout, too.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to get in this. So, let's start. So, I'm picking Vettori. I think that he will be able to control enough. I think we see him go back to his wrestling roots a little bit. I'm going to go over at least a minute of control time. That's going to be hard, knowing that's going against his grain right now. But if I can get a minute of control time and 100 strikes, I think that at his price too, his price, this is Vettori's price, is only $8,200 on DraftKings. So that's decent. That's middle of the road. So that's where I'm going to pull out. But for me, you said 3rd-round knockout, right? So we're going to just go
technical knockout.
They throw all that together. So if right now Dolidze by knockout is a plus 500. That is crazy numbers. Now, if you go down and you go to the round and method, and we go, you said 3rd round?
3rd round.
Because remember, this is a 5-round fight this time. You're saying 3rd round.
I'm saying 3rd round.
3rd round. Wow, dude. Okay. Plus 2,900 odds. 2,900 odds. 3rd round knockout Dolidze. Dude, if that happens, we're going to have a lot of rich friends up in here, man.
Hey, you pulled it out last week with that submission, so I'm trying to do the same thing this week.
Hey, we got to do something because, look, all these people out here trying to make bold calls. Well, guess what? Let's make some bold calls ourselves. So you got that bold call right there, right? And then I'm going to go back on it. You said second round knockout by Ryan Spann, right?
Submission. Second round submission.
That's it. Yep, it was second round submission. Look at us with our paperwork. You know, some people, that's how the old school people do it, man. We do it. So we got second round submission right now for Ryan Spann is a plus 1,500 odds. Dude, if you parlay those two things you just said together, it's a plus 47,900 odds.
I'm shooting for the stars, buddy. I'm shooting for the stars.
A 50-cent bet wins you $240. People, we're not trying to break your bank. We're just trying to make you a hero for one day. A hero for one day.
Bet a quarter on it.
Bet a quarter, man. This ain't Christmas. For everybody that knows that line and what movie that comes from, I don't think anybody's going to guess that one. You don't know it, do you?
I have no idea.
I'll tell you offline, man. George Jefferson is the one that said it, but his name was not George Jefferson in this movie. There's a clue for everybody. Yeah. So let's get to it. I'm going to go, all right, man, I don't even care. And I'm going with it right now. I will tell you something it's in the negatives right now. And that is my boy, Josiah Musasa. I just love that. It's just like, it brings the Lion King back. Musasa. Dude, he's my captain, man. This dude's gonna break, dude, man. The Vera, I guess he's okay, but he got a plus 525, and even though people say it's a little closer, that negative 750, look, even right now, Musasa's, I can't get over myself with that, is a negative 130 on the knockout. But what I did like, which was a little more solid, under 2.5 rounds gives you both a sub or a TKO as well. The negative under 2.5 rounds is a negative 5.2, and that right there to me is just glorious because it gives you a little safe bet if you want to be right there. And then I also want to make sure that I want to cover my faces too, because this is what we do. This is what I do. Welcome. When you guys see me with football, I'm a madman in football, man. But, I mean, damn, we be talking all the time in my crazy little plays. But, so talk about it. What do you like, Musasa?
I do. I think he's a good fighter, man. I don't. Who's he fighting again? I don't have it in front of me.
It's Carlos Vera.
Oh yeah, Carlos Vera is a pretty good fighter too, man. But I like Musasa.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people, like I said, the Vera, he is strong. He's a great fighter, but it's just there's too much going on right now with Musasa that you just can't stop that right now. This is something that's easy. That's why when I give out my DFS lineup, he is definitely going to be part of it. And then so you know, like Musasa right now for his fight to go to distance is a plus 160. That's what makes everything else. That's where you can kind of sneak some stuff in. But what I like to do, and this is on FanDuel, and if you get this way, if you go round 1 and 2 knockout by Musasa, you get a plus 115. If you want to cover yourself and you think you're more of a second to third round guy that say maybe that Musasa might get a little jacked up at first or might have to figure out Vera, then you go with the second and third round bet for plus 240. And both of those bets are strong. Again, we're looking in the second round, and that could be the knockout round. So if we're going to go the method and knockout round for Musasa, right? After this, if anybody trolls me with those coyotes, man, or the hyenas, I said coyotes, with them hyenas, it's going to be crazy. Musasa's second round knockout is a plus 460. Third round is a plus 700. Plus 460. I love the second round. I love what you said. I will give out that Musasa, and I have not did this yet on the Fight Club of Pain, is one of my 5-tastic picks. He is the knockout. So, second round knockout, Musasa. That's what we're going for. Plus 460, throw it down, get lucky. But make sure you cover yourself, people. Put the knockout in as well, too. Because a lot of people sometimes are enamored with round betting and that, but they overlook how this fight will end. It is a negative 150 for knockout. So even if Vera gets lucky, you get that knockout. That's something I've been doing too a little bit, is also covering those numbers and making sure, because a lot of people all use kind of the same sauce when it comes to the UFC and determining fights. But what we're doing is we're looking at that and we're going to numbers. I'm also using the sportsbook and the DFS sites for every kind of sway, every kind of minute. This information's out there for everybody, but it puts it. That's why earlier in the week, I say this is my lineup. Then I go through and I do my stuff. Then I go through and I see who everybody's trying to pick, because they put it all over the X. So I'm like, okay, I got that one. This guy agrees with me. This guy doesn't agree with me. Okay, whatever. We're good. We're moving along, right? But when I see all that together, I'm like a chameleon. Ooh, yeah, I'm the macho man. I'm just going to take it. I'm going to consume it all. And just like I've done with the NFL, becoming one of the best DFS podcasts for the NFL. And I'll say that. I don't care. Like, everybody watching, sorry, go check the numbers. It is, man. But that's what we do. That's what I did. I was 16-7 all the way up to the Super Bowl. 2 lineups each week. One site, FanDuel, DraftKings. It's what I do here. It's just about lineup construction. It's why some people do stay away from DFS. I mean, DFS confuses the hell out of you, right?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to.
It's easy a little bit. It's all about the prices. You could take a lot of the favorites and put it in. I do have a lineup for you. So that's my bold pick. That's going to be mine. You got Dan's bold picks. You have a few bets right now that are both positive, negative. You have our picks. So right now, just to run it back, so that we both all know. So I've got Cortez Acosta. Dan has Spann. Mm-hmm. We both have Hernandez over Hollabaugh, but we think it goes a distance, so that's good for DFS. We'll say that again for everybody that was late. We both have Cheaty winning. Cheaty. Bang, bang. Gonna be on the ground. Dos Santos, Pilos Santos. And then we're split down the middle again for Vettori and Dolidze. You have Dolidze, I have Vettori. I'm just trying to give Vettori a decision. You trying to take my head off with a 3rd round knockout. So
I hope it happens. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It definitely will be a great. So let's get to it. Let's get to the DFS lineup. This is going to be for FanDuel. Your captain is Musasa. Y'all didn't see it. Musasa. Dude, I just want to get a shirt that just says Musasa. Just freaking crazy, man. All right. Musasa. We got Cortez Acosta. We have Lima. We have Nurgaze. We didn't even talk about him, but man, he made the 5-tastics, people. Yeah. I got Vettori, and I have Cunningham. AJ Cunningham. He is the cheapest fighter on FanDuel. And for a reason, I know that people don't like him, but for me, did you look at that fight at all?
I didn't. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't look at that fight, but I do like Cunningham. I've seen him fight a few times.
Yeah, well, of course, he's fighting Su Young Yu with Jiu-Jitsu. So that's why he's the favorite in this. But for me, when you look at that, I have 5 favorites because even though Vettori, and you're hating on him right now, is the favorite.
I like Vettori.
I know. He is the sway right now. And for the DFS lineup, you're looking at 5 favorites with 1 bad dog. And if that dog can go the distance, so when I was looking over a lot of things, a lot of the people have this fight going the distance. And when I go on so this is a way you can also check yourselves before you wreck yourselves or break yourselves. So will the fight go the distance? A plus 112 on FanDuel Sportsbook as we speak. A plus 112 is not strong at all. It's not strong. And a negative 142, that's not strong at all. So that tells me this fight goes the distance. So all I need from our guy Cunningham is like 40, 50 points. Bro, get me 40, 50 points. If everybody else wins, that lineup right there that y'all just got for free is going to smash the competition, man.
There you go.
Was there anything else you saw with this fight, but this fight card? Was there any other fighters that you like?
Oh, I really like that Andre Lima guy, man. He's 10-0. Yeah, he's 10-0. He's fighting a journeyman. I think I think he's just gonna smash him.
He's gonna smash Perez. So let's throw in, since we only talked a few things, and we're not gonna make this any much more longer because we went as long as last week with just two of us. What do you think? So I'm picking Lima. You're picking Lima. What's the finish? Let's see if we can nail it, people. Let's nail it.
I think he wins by decision.
He wins by decision.
It goes the distance. Yeah.
I have him as a decision also, and right now it's a negative 148 or 142 on FanDuel Sportsbook. Everybody thinks it's the decision, so therefore the method of victory 1 plus 105 for Lima on points. I mean, this right here, this is kind of like, this is where it's a DFS fight again. You'll get your points, but as a betting, you're not going to make too much money going which way. Unless something crazy happens, you're not going to make money. So for me, when I bet this fight, I'm definitely going to go fight goes the distance, and then I'm grabbing maybe points. And then I might parlay something else with that. I'll do fight goes the distance with Lima overall. You can't even put that together, but that's going to be one of those things, because Lima right now is a negative 420. So yeah. That to me is just saying it right there, that this is going to distance. I think that's a great analogy. We both have it going to distance. There goes another one for you people. All right, buddy. Third show in. You feeling good?
I feel good, man. I like doing this.
I know. It's simple, easy. It's a great way to catch up, talk to people. I'm waiting for people to throw comments in here. I don't know why nobody's throwing any comments. It's like they're all sitting behind a screen scared as shit, trying to be like, yo, I can't get with the pain. But we know how to bring the pain, don't we?
Yeah. That's right, buddy.
Hey, I want to make sure everybody get to Dr. Roto. We have massive, massive coverage going on right now for baseball. Get to Dr. Roto at MSN as well, too. We have tons of best second baseman ever, but we also, Lou and the baseball guys, have been putting a lot of nuggets in there as well, like top prospects or top relievers or top stuff like this. If you're doing a baseball draft for fantasy baseball, if you actually play that, because hardly anybody's playing it anymore, but if you play it, we have a winning team and we win people championships. And this Lou is amazing. Trevor is amazing. Doc is amazing. Doc is live on Sirius XM every single week on Saturdays and Sundays. You know, you got to check it in because you're getting the visionaries during baseball season. Doc gives out his Roto Visionaries as well as his Beta Visionaries too. We're just trying to make everybody our rich friend because we have the right cure for any fantasy ailment. You know what I mean, buddy?
Oh, I know what you mean, buddy.
Yeah, get to bring the pain at Facebook. Get to Heat Override on the X. And make sure you follow Dr. Roto on all of those platforms across the thing. And follow me on YouTube as well, because that's where all these shows end up. This is what we do. Dan, thank you again, my brother. I cannot wait to give you a nice big hug tomorrow, man.
Oh, yeah. And I got a beer for you.
Beer's up, people. It's time to get it. Slam it out. Have a great day, everybody. And always remember to bring the pain. Ooh, yeah.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well and take care.